What's the best game for gamers over 40? Well, for me, it basically comes down to 5 factors. I'm going to tell you what those 5 factors are and why it basically comes down to one thing: SOCOM. I mostly play shooters, and I want a game that plays smooth, with an intuitive experience and gunplay that feels satisfying. There should be a rhythm to it that feels lifelike, and above all, I want the controls to make sense. Games that have excellent mechanics include Call of Duty, Star Wars Battlefront 2, Anthem, Red Dead Redemption, and Destiny. Most of these games feel very lifelike, but Call of Duty feels almost too smooth and too fast. It feels like I'm playing a game rather than having an immersive experience. Overwatch is another example. It's a popular game with a highly competitive player versus player and esports scene. While the mechanics are intuitive and smooth, the combat feels largely disconnected. It's a big cartoon with visual feedback that you are doing damage with no feeling of impact. I feel like I'm just sliding around the map. Now, while a lot of games meet the mechanics requirement, I need to have a small learning curve. With a game like Overwatch, the learning curve is a lot steeper for me. There are a lot more characters than Apex Legends, and it's not quite as obvious right off the bat how to best use each one. But I have never experienced a bigger learning curve than trying to play Fortnite. I just don't understand the appeal of having to try and build ramps and walls and jump and shoot and think about your tactics all at the same time. My motor skills aren't quick enough to process all of that at once. Apex Legends is a game that I understand right away, and as an experienced shooter player, I was able to jump right in and start having some success. The character's abilities are easy to learn and understand how to use in combat situations. Now, when it comes to the game I main, there also has to be something original and unique about it. When Fortnite first hit the scene, it built on what games like H1Z1 and PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds first established in the Battle Royale genre, and its Battle Royale mode captured the world's attention and interest at a surprising rate. Its art style is cartoony, vibrant, and fun, and its dance emotes keep kids moving more than most video games inspire kids to do. One problem I have with Fortnite, though, is it's pretty much copying everything Apex Legends does. Apex had respawns, so Fortnite gave people respawn vans. Apex had jump towers to reposition on the map, so Fortnite gave you launch pads. Apex had a ping system, and Fortnite borrowed that. Apex had loot vaults in its new map, so Fortnite just recently added loot vaults. While there's nothing to say they can't copy the best features that provide a great gameplay experience, this proves that Apex Legends is now setting the tone and leading the genre that Fortnite still dominates by sheer volume. The other problem is that Fortnite has no clear identity. It's open to every whim of imagination the developers have. It seems like they're just throwing a toy box at the wall and seeing what sticks. While that may be terrific for kids, it's not for the 40-plus gamer. Apex Legends brought with it some of the staples of the Battle Royale genre, then built on those elements with its own particular style and a meta-narrative out of the Titanfall universe. It is a unique intellectual property that still knows how to have fun with themed skins and options kids can enjoy, but it never loses touch with its identity. Now, I know a lot of adult gamers are split on the idea of competitive PvP, or player versus player. Some of us absolutely hate it. When EA published the new Battlefront games, one of the biggest complaints from a large part of the community was how little emphasis was put on the single-player or PvE aspects of the games. Battlefront 2 has only recently reached a place where the single-player offline component has a robust content offering. A lot of people, especially adults with limited time, just want to have a relaxing time playing games and feeling like they're accomplishing something. Destiny, Red Dead Redemption, and other open-world games have robust PvE experiences with deep, engrossing stories and side quests to keep you engaged for a long time. Now, when it comes to PvP, I know a lot of people complain about skill-based matchmaking, but for me it's a no-brainer. I want to be matched up with players at or above my skill level because it's the only way I get better. And yes, I want to get better at the game. Maybe that's not for you, but that is important for a lot of people. Numerical progress and ranking up is one thing, but when you're actually improving your skill level at something, whether at a video game, a trade, a musical instrument, or anything, you're engaging the human need for self-improvement. You're achieving something intuitive and embedded in our subconscious that you can see and know on a deep level. The ranked lobbies in Apex Legends provide an even greater challenge, an even greater prestige. You are measured against the best players in the game. It says something about you if you get from gold to platinum. It really says something if you can get into diamond, and beyond that, you're in company with some of the best players of the game. I'm probably not in any danger of getting to diamond or higher, but it sure is fun to try. And when you get to platinum, you start getting paired with better players, so your random squads are even better at that point. While the games I've listed like Call of Duty, Overwatch, Destiny, Battlefront 2, and Red Dead Redemption all have PvP experiences, and they meet each of the 4 factors I've listed above, they don't quite meet the 5th. The last game that I played that met all 5 was the SOCOM franchise. If you're a 40-plus console gamer like I am, you probably spent a lot of time with one of 2 exclusive franchises, Microsoft's Halo and Sony's SOCOM US Navy SEALs. SOCOM was the flagship exclusive of Sony's consoles from 2002 to 2011. The mechanics were intuitive with third-person animations that resembled real-life movement. The gunplay was based on real-life weaponry with the sound design from the actual weapons. It was easy to understand both the gameplay and the interactions with the environment. It was the first AAA console title to resemble actual military combat while providing a multiplayer experience. While not as immersive as, say, Medal of Honor's Normandy beach invasion, it gave you a feel for real combat scenarios. The PvP element had 2 main metrics, your rank, which was based on your XP and time in-game, and your rating, which took into account your statistical metrics including kill-death ratio, shot percentage, and win-loss ratio. Similar to Call of Duty, it evened out each side according to rank and rating so that teams would be balanced. While in Halo and Call of Duty you simply respawned into the match, in SOCOM the default was when you were dead, that was it for the round. You had to watch your remaining teammates and root them on. That was the breeding ground for some truly clutch gaming moments that everyone could see. That wasn't its only unique quality, though. Another was that the lobby was self-policing. Toxic gamers were booted from the match by majority vote. Players could take it upon themselves to balance out the lobby or easily swap spots on a side if they had a friend they wanted to get into the game. SOCOM had a much more mature, much less toxic lobby than Call of Duty had. This was due in large part to the non-respawn nature of the game. It tended to attract gamers who wanted a more realistic experience. And the clan wars were tons of fun. It was also the first online multiplayer game with dance emotes. But there was one other thing that SOCOM had that none of the others had. It's my 5th factor and the one thing that sets Apex Legends apart, and that is squad-based tactics and communication. Due to SOCOM's ability to closely resemble actual military combat, you had to practice actual military tactics. The same thing pro paintball teams, for instance, will practice, came into play in the SOCOM series. Things like cover, establishing high ground, closing off choke points, and concealments like smoke grenades and suppressors such as gas. The best squads differentiated their loadouts approaching game modes like demolition and escort from a tactical mindset. Apex Legends has replicated this to near perfection. Certain legends work better with others, but the same concept applies. Using your abilities to best support your tactical approach, and different tactics work just as effectively. But above all, concepts like cover, establishing high ground, closing off choke points, concealments such as smoke, and suppressors such as gas or electric fences, understanding and utilizing these real-world tactics is paramount to winning in the game. And being able to communicate that to your teammates, whether through the ping system or on mic, is paramount to making that happen. Communication can still be a source of frustration, though, just like any multiplayer game. You do get in squads with people that aren't there for the team experience and that run off and do their own thing. And sometimes you get in a lobby with a kid or someone who likes to be annoying. It's easy to mute people, and if you just don't want to talk to anyone, mute your squad at the touch of a button and use the ping system. But in large part, most people stick together and do use the ping system. Personally, I prefer ranked lobbies, especially by the time you reach Platinum, because most of the time people are there to work together, they want to communicate, and they want to win. I hope you've got some insight on what makes Apex Legends so good, and that you got some value from this video. Hit that thumbs up button if you did, and tell me what game you prefer to play most. Be sure to follow me on Twitter at the40plusgamer, and go like my Facebook page, link down below in the description. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.